So we're in this period in our country and across the globe, really, of deciding what type of pandemic policies and powers are going to be extended to regular times, right? Since the pandemic's over, as Joe Biden declared just the other day, and then his White House actually had to correct. Forget about that mess. But like, for instance, is outdoor dining gonna be forever, like we have here in Plymouth? I don't know, but that's an example. Here's another example, definitely much more concerning, out of India. Let's cut to the chase here on this. Why is India's COVID-19 contract tracing app controversial? The app is called Bridge to Health. Bridge to Health. So let's scroll down here. The app will now be mandatory for government and private sector employees to download. You must download it. Using the phone's Bluetooth and location data, which is on constantly, highlight this paragraph for you here. The Bridge to Health app lets users know if they've been near a person with COVID-19 by scanning a database of known cases of infection. Oh, isn't that convenient? It's just like the movie Minority Report. You know, if they can find someone who's been near a COVID-19 patient, they can also find someone who's been next to somebody who's had impure thoughts, as in they didn't agree with the government, right? It wouldn't be that hard to figure out, oh, you've been meeting with Sally, and Sally, she doesn't agree with the government. You must also not agree with the government. Why don't you come with us? Oh, Jack, stop the conspiracy theories. That's just ridiculous. Take your tinfoil hat off and stop. Just stop.
We launched an initiative alongside companies and non-profits to help improve research and understanding of how a person's online experiences are curated by automated processes.
Oh, it's Jacinda, the Wicked Witch.
This will also be important in understanding more about mis and disinformation online.
Understanding more about mis and that means the government figuring out how to control what is said.
Challenge that we must, as leaders,
we must address it. We cannot have people going around saying things that we don't agree with.
I think it's easy to dismiss this problem as one in the margins. I can certainly understand the desire to...
You know, I'm just listening to her now, her, like, breathlessness. And, you know, the only one that feigns outrage better than Elizabeth Warren might be Jacinda.
Leave it to someone else.
Leave it to someone else.
As leaders, we're rightly concerned that even the most light-touch approaches to disinformation could...
She's not concerned about this.
...be misinterpreted as being hostile to values of free speech that we value so highly.
Right, so if they attack free speech, that's just being misinterpreted.
But while I cannot tell you today what the answer is to this challenge, I can say with complete certainty that we cannot ignore it. To do so poses an equal threat to the norms we all value.
In other words, I can't tell you exactly, but using some of the technology that was developed during the pandemic when we tracked people down and sent them to camps, like in Australia, maybe we could use some of that.
After all, how do you successfully end a war if people are led to believe the reason for its existence is not only legal but noble?
Oh, I don't know. How about compete in the marketplace of ideas? Rather than trying to silence people, if you think your idea is great, then fantastic. Compete in the marketplace of ideas. Not that I'm pro-war, who is, but compete in the marketplace of ideas. How about that?
The weapons may be different, but the goals of those who perpetuate them is often the same: to cause chaos and reduce the ability of others to defend themselves.
The only person that she's reducing the ability to defend ourselves is us through our own speech.
For every attempt to push the world into chaos is a collective conviction to bring us back to order.
Because chaos is anything that they don't like, especially if you don't vote for Jacinda, who is currently trailing in the polls in New Zealand, by the way, you should know. Because she represents order, and anyone that disagrees with her represents chaos. It's very clear to understand who she is. She's law and order.
We have the means. We just need the collective will.
Oh my God, that's like I think of Triumph of the Will. There's like a reference exactly to that. Jonathan Turley understands. New Zealand Prime Minister calls for a global censorship system. Speech regulation has become an article of faith on the left. So that is true. Colleges everywhere. Ardern used her speech this week to the United Nations General Council, General Assembly, to call for censorship on a global scale. She lashed out at disinformation and called for a global coalition to control speech. Oh, what could go wrong? A global coalition to control speech. After quickly nodding towards free speech, she proceeded to lay out a plan for its demise through government regulation. Thank you, Jonathan Turley. As Rahm Emanuel once said, never let a crisis go to waste. Let's be perfectly clear that the enemies of free speech are not letting this crisis go to waste. And neither should we. I'm John F. Gately. You can call me Jack. Here from beautiful Plymouth, Massachusetts, behind enemy lines. Have a great day. Bye-bye.